Nithyananda, everyone. Let's continue with the Bhagavad Gita Decoded by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Masanidhanam, Nithyananda Paramashivam. This is part 10, page 105, chapter 1. Let's start with the Satguru Vandanam to invoke Swamiji, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, into our space. Let's sit straight with the head, neck, and spine in a straight line, the hands to the Anjali Mudra. Let's chant the Satguru Vandanam. Let's connect with Swamiji through the Ananda Ganda. Nityanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gaganasarasham Tatvamasyadilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshibhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Satgurum Tam Namami. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Yes. Let's go ahead with chapter 1. Shastras, Stotras, and Sutras. Arjunavisada Yogah. Part 1. Arjuna's Falters. Page 47. Yes, let's go ahead. Arjuna's Falters. 1.19. This tumultuous sounding of the conscious reverberated in the sky and the earth and shattered the hearts of the sons of Dhritarashtra. 1.20. Then, seated in this chariot, which bore the flag of Hanuman, Arjuna lifted his bow, fixed his arrows, and looked at the sons of Dhritarashtra, spoke to Krishna. 1.21, 1.22. Arjuna said, "O Achyuta, infallible one, please position my chariot between the two armies and let me see the warmongers gathered here with whom I must wage this battle." When Bhishma sounded his conch, it invited back the resounding response of the conches of the Pandava warriors. There's no mention by Sanjaya that Bhishma's conch or the accompanying sounds of drums and trumpets from the Kaurava army caused any concern amongst the Pandava army. What he says now is different. With the roar of the conches of the Pandava warriors led by Krishna and Arjuna, Sanjaya says that the hearts of the sons and Dhritarashtra were shattered. The words used here are significant. He says that the blowing of the conches created vibrations in the sky and upon the earth. The conches of the Pandava princes and other great warriors were not mere musical instruments. They were filled with great spiritual power and divine presence. They were, in fact, mantra or sacred sounds, which created powerful vibrations affecting the environment. That is the uproar Sanjaya was talking about. In the Hindu Puranas, epics, one finds references to weapons called astra. An astra is not a physical weapon, it is thought, it is a thought, a word. Sorry, we just gotta go ahead here. A word that was given enormous power by its creator to destroy even to the extent of a nuclear device. Later, the Mahabharat war, power nuclear weapons like Brahmastra, deadliest of all the astras, capable of delivering destruction, were attempted to be used. Just by the power of thought and words, their nuclear energy was invoked in the various Montero. Krishna received the Brahmastra on him before before it could do any damage. The conscience that the Pandava warriors used were not meant to destroy physically, but they were clearly successful in destroying the fantasies of the Kaurava princes. The purpose of sounding conscious was to set the stage for the battle and to define its boundaries. The Pandava princes and warriors had the comfort of knowing that they were doing what was right, both in their own hearts and in the eyes of God, since they had the association and support of Krishna himself. The Kaurava princes were afraid. All that motivated them was greed and envy. They did not have divine purpose as their motivation. Sanjaya, with his powerful Anya, third eye vision, was able to see far beyond the superficial responses on the battlefield. He was able to unravel the unconscious, deep rooted patterns, emotions, and responses of the warriors. Whatever may have been the perceived reaction of the Kaurava army to the response from the Pandava warriors, Sanjaya concludes that the Kaurava princes were demoralized, imbalanced. The armies went face to face in military formation. The conches had sounded in anticipation. The warriors on both sides were waiting for their commanders to signal the first move in offense. Arjuna was at the forefront of the Pandava army. He had blown his conch, Devadatta, at the same time as Krishna sounded his Panchajanya. Arjuna had taken up his divine bow, Gandiva, and had fixed the arrow to the bow. However, instead of releasing the arrow, Arjuna looked at the Kaurava army amassed in front of him, with all the Kaurava princes, his cousins, facing him. He then addressed Krishna, his friend, mentor, divine guide, and charioteer. For the first time in this scripture, Arjuna speaks. Arjuna is not the mere hero of Mahabharata in this Gita scripture. He is the embodiment of all humanity. He is Nara, the human aspect of Narayana, Lord Vishnu, who in turn is Krishna. Krishna and Arjuna as Narayana and Nara, as the divine and human, is the theme that runs throughout Bhagavad Gita and also much of the epic Mahabharata. Achyuta, oh, infallible one, said Arjuna to his friend and mentor. Please take me to a vantage point between the two armies so that I can see for myself who I'm fighting with. Let me see who is assembled here on this battlefield. He says, Krishna, please show me who I must vanquish. Arjuna already knew that the last man, each one of who was on that Kurukshetra battlefield. He had no confusion about whom he was fighting. All these decisions, negotiations, changing of loyalties, dropouts, all these happened in the days before the war. The lines had been drawn very clearly. even if unwillingly in some cases. It made no sense at all for Arjuna to ask Krishna at this last minute to show him clearly who he was fighting against. It was as if he was hoping that at the last minute something could occur to change the course of events. If that were to happen, he knew that it could only take place through the grace of his charioteer, friend, and guide, Mahadeva. Madhava. And it is as if Arjuna was making a desperate plea to Krishna. Please show me something that I do not know. Show me something that you alone know. Oh, Achyuta, infallible divine, take me there where you will and show me. Let's end the session here for the moment, the reading, and continue shortly. Let's end with the Purna mantra. Oh, let's sit straight with the head, neck, and spine in a straight line. The hands to the Anjali Mudra, offering our gratitude to beloved Swamiji. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Sarvam Bhagavat Sri Nithyananda Paramashiva Paruka Panamastu. Om Nithyanandam. Nithyanandam, everyone. Thank you for listening.